This would be great news if ISIS is actually defeated in Mosul. But, you know, what's going to happen? Are the terrorists just going to scatter like cockroaches with the guys we can't kill?
No, absolutely. They're going to find quarter in any state in the Middle East that suffers from a lack of political power, primarily Libya, I think, where ISIS already has a presence, where there's competing governmental authorities, and which the Obama administration in its last couple of months seemed to be targeting more and more with counterterrorism strikes.
Do you think that will continue, and that will be where the war on terrorism, on ISIS, and this philosophy will spread?
Absolutely, because it's also tied up in the Sunni-Shia dispute, which is driving a lot of the Sunni radicalism that produces groups like ISIS. You know, this ideology is a function of the Sunni state's reaction to the unprecedented level of Shia power and the strength of Iran, and the Sunni fear that Iran is trying to dominate the Middle East.
Well, you've got the Sunni as Shiite Iran versus Saudi Arabia battle facing up. And Iran, I mean, they're trying to spread out basically their own sphere of influence right on through to Lebanon, to the Mediterranean. So how can we, or along with the Arab allies and perhaps even Israel, blunt Tehran's moves?
Yeah, absolutely. The growth of Iranian power and Shia power more broadly is the defining geopolitical trend of the 21st century so far, even more than the war on terror. What we need to do is help the Sunni states uphold the balance of power that they are accustomed to, while not getting dragged too far into it so we become a combatant against Iran. And what we really would like to get out of that is, as we help them uphold that balance of power, ensure some sort of trade-off with them domestically so that they are not sponsoring anti-American, pro-jihad narratives at home, but instead moderate that and promote a pluralistic society.
Well, despite the nuclear deal, I mean, Iran is still at the top on the state list of sponsors of terrorism. And this weekend there was a huge rally in Paris. The Iranian opposition, the head of that, Mariam Rajavi, called for tougher sanctions against Iran, war crimes against its leaders, and actually called on the U.S. and our allies to push back against Iran so they don't have this foothold, for example, in Lebanon, that could threaten Israel.
No, absolutely. Look, and it's not just the Iranian opposition. I think 9 out of 10 Middle Easterners would be greatly alarmed by the growth of Iranian power. Again, this is unprecedented. This is a threat to a ruling ideology and ruling caste in the Sunni world that has reigned supreme for 1,400 years. It is a total game changer.
How do you think finally this will play out? And is the Trump administration aligning with Saudi Arabia so closely wise?
I would have liked to see more trade-offs while we aligned with Saudi Arabia. In exchange for the arms deal, I would have liked to see the Trump administration get genuine commitments out of the Saudis to reform some of their domestic narratives. But I think genuinely this defeat of ISIS in Mosul is going to be a major step forward.